These people.
Green light, let's get it. I'm the future, I'm in it. Check score, I'm winning. Green light, let's get it. I just win. I'm on 10. Hello, I'm Himothy. I got the recipe. I got the flow. I got the remedy. I know they do. I know they envy me. Feet on the floor. What they gonna say now? We came along from last place. Bottom to top of the fast pace. Out of this surf, I get touchdown. I take a loss, get it back.
Damn, y'all won't give me time to retweet stuff. I swear. This thing won't. Sometimes this intro got to be a little bit longer. I won't even lie to y'all. You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole, and welcome to our Baltimore Ravens recap show. I guess it's more than a recap show now. Joining me is Bowie TV's Lights Out Ravens beat reporter Carita Parks. Carita is also founder of Double Take Sports. Carita, what's up, man?
I feel like it's been a very just crazy 48 hours. So much has happened. And I'm still trying to process the Harbaugh news. I mean, I know that that's what fans wanted, but still, when a coach has been with a team for 18 seasons, that's a big move, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a lot. Dujane in the building. What's going on, Dujane? Said, "Let's go." I can't wait to hear what Carita had to say about. Definitely this. It's a lot. This is a lot. Won't even lie to you guys. I came in thinking we're just going to talk about already a heartbreaking game, and this they dropped this on us. But Harbaugh being let go is definitely interesting. It's definitely something else. Before we talk about Harbaugh being let go, and also the Ravens falling to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the winner wins the AFC North and clinches the postseason. The Ravens fell to the Steelers 26-24. Kicker Tyler Loop missed the 44-yard kick to win the game, and everyone saw it, heart goes out to that kid, man. As soon as he missed it, you can see the despair, and we'll dive into all of that. Before we talk about the topics, you can check out our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. You can subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV YouTube channels. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support our shows. The super chats will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. You can also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right. First off, before we talk about the game, we got to talk about Harbaugh. Fans have, like you mentioned earlier, fans have been clamoring for this change for a while. We've seen this on this show. They've been saying they want Harbaugh out of here. And like you said, 18 years in the game up here in B-More. When the news broke around 5 p.m. What were your thoughts when you heard the news?
Like, dang, I can't do nothing. I was driving.
I feel you.
Who is on the road? News wants to break. But no, in all seriousness, I was surprised because yes, I do understand that there has been some questions about coaching decisions and all of those things, right? However, just how the Ravens franchise is, I definitely just did not have, in my mind, I just didn't think that they were going to fire Coach Harbaugh. I thought that they were going to probably take aim at the coordinators or maybe some of the staff. So I'm surprised that he was fired, but from what I am seeing, it doesn't sound to me as if firing was what they intended to do. Maybe it was an option, but it doesn't sound to me like what they intended to do, because he didn't tell his staff about the firing. It was Eric DaCosta and Sashi Brown, the president. The players, is being reported that the players kind of saw the news on social, and they called a Zoom for the players, but you know how social media is. I mean, you can't stop it from coming out with all these insiders and sources and all of those things. But nonetheless, I feel like if it was a plan to fire him up front, I believe it would have went differently as far as staff communication and all of it, player communication and all of those things.
Yeah. Do you feel like
it sounds like maybe Coach Harbaugh and the owner were not on the same page?
Yeah, I agree. Do you feel like to that deal? Do you feel like it was more peer pressure from, because you hear the peer pressure from like the fans and the outcry, because we've heard this a lot where folks been saying he got to come through this season, and the way the season ended, and a lot of, even in that game, right? I'm just being real, like in that game, it was like the loser gets fired type of thing. That game was like, that was a rumor too. So do you feel like there was pressure from the fan base to like kind of for the owner to be like, maybe like, you know what, I think it's about time?
I think it was a combination of things. I definitely think fan reaction has something to do with it, because at the end of the day, these franchises want to make money. Yes. And if fans are not supporting the team, they're not making money. But I also think that Steve Bisciotti, he's the Ravens owner.
Yeah.
Before the season started, he was on the podcast with John Harbaugh talking about it's win now.
Yeah.
So I think that this season just fell too short of expectations. That roster that they have, this is not an 8-9 now, because they lost the other day.
Yeah.
So this team to be 8-9, they have just regressed since the AFC Championship. Went to the AFC Championship, dropped the divisional round, couldn't get it done in the divisional round, then didn't even make the playoffs this year. So I don't, like I said, I wasn't necessarily advocating at all. I mean,
I know that. Yeah,
advocate of firing John Harbaugh, but as an owner, I can understand that you also have Lamar Jackson. Like that Lamar Jackson window is not going to be open forever. He's 28 now, and that's not old, but he's getting older.
Yeah,
and he's such a talented quarterback. You do have a fairly talented roster. So I do think that they probably are looking at our window is just getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And they felt like they needed to make a change. Now, to me, the biggest question is, who can fill those shoes?
Yes, that's what everybody wants. That's the big question. Like, because at the end of the day, regardless of what, the fan base is being frustrated with Coach Harbaugh, it's about, all right, who's the choice? Because it can't be a guy that you expect to kind of go through a rebuild. It's not a rebuild situation. It's a guy that you expect to take you past what Harbaugh did. So yeah, that's the question. Like, I know for me, I mean, there's one I like here. I like this attitude pop. This is a guy that I like. I like Brian Flores. Like, I think Brian Flores fits the Ravens motto, like, right, toughness and physicality and that mean edge, individual, and he fits the town of Baltimore, in my opinion. Like, I think that's if you're telling me like a perfect fit for, say, a franchise and a institution, he would be my pick. But yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to pick a guy that takes this team to the next level. But do you have an idea of what they'll probably be looking for? Somebody maybe you think that would fit this team, and since they're losing a guy who won the Super Bowl.
I don't know who they would pick. I mean, I don't know what they're looking for yet. I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to speak to either I'm assuming Eric DeCosta, the owner. This precedes me, but my understanding is the owner has maybe only done like 1 or 2 press conferences. So I don't know if this is a chance, if this is a time where he would do one or not. I think he should. He's the one who made the decision to move on from Coach Harbaugh. Coach Harbaugh does not report to Eric DeCosta, like, some organizations work. So anyway, I say all that to say that I don't know if I have a preference. Brian Flores, I do understand and see why people like him. I just can't help but wonder if the lawsuit that he filed against the NFL, which was
that's the problem.
justified,
It was justified. That's the thing.
Impact his allure, so to speak, for the Ravens, right?
Oh, I agree.
And for me, I'm just like, right, you need someone who can come in here and be a dog. I hate to say it, but you need a dog. You don't need one of them player coaches or whatever. You need someone who is a straight up dog. And I'm not sure who that is right now. And I said this on my ex. They said Coach Harbaugh, now that he is released, he's one of the top candidates.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
For a head coaching job. My opinion is, if he is the top candidate, what does that say about the candidates that are out there?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I understand why he's a top candidate.
Yeah.
But if all of these teams are clamoring for Harbaugh and no longer really care about these other coaches, what does that say about the coaching pool right now? So I don't know who all is out there that I feel as, I mean, right, I do believe, you know, Flores could be a good fit, but like I said, I just don't know if that lawsuit will come into play.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I said look, owners, they work together. So that's a whole different, that could be a whole different podcast in its own right. But yeah, it's whoever you get better not miss. That's how I look at it.
They cannot miss.
You can't
now,
miss.
what I will say is I do have faith in this franchise. They are very thorough. This is a very thorough franchise. So I have faith that their process will be airtight. But to your point, the decision has to be right because they're not rebuilding. You said, they want someone who can take this roster, and there will probably be changes, of course, to the roster, but there's going to be key people like Derrick Henry ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Lamar ain't going nowhere. Lamar has to restructure his contract too, which could also have played into the decision to move on from Harbaugh.
Okay.
You know, the reports, there are some reports that him and Harbaugh were no longer on the same page.
Yeah, I heard that. I was going to ask you about that, but I'll let you go ahead and finish your statement.
I mean, from the outside looking in, I didn't necessarily see that.
Okay.
Even though I'm there every day. But, you know, the Ravens are a very professional organization. So if there were cracks, I probably wouldn't see it.
They do keep it in house. They do a good job of keeping stuff in house. They've been like that for years, though.
That's what I'm saying. So, but think about their culture. You also have to have someone who is a good leader. I mean, coaching aside, we can agree or disagree on the coaching. Yeah. But Harbaugh was a very good leader, in my opinion.
I agree.
Supportive of, if he hired somebody, he was supportive of them. He didn't throw nobody under the bus. He has a gang of women on his staff. The Ravens are one of the organizations in the NFL with a high number of female staff.
That's dope.
He was very well respected. So his leadership cannot be downplayed, in my opinion. So you're not just hiring a head coach. You got to hire a good leader.
Yeah, I know. I agree. That's why depending on who's out, I mean, you know, there could be some guys who get fired in the playoffs too. So the pool could be open even more. I'm just interested, like, or I'll ask you this question. Could they even be interested in keeping, like, promoting, say, a Todd Monken to head coach? Would that be, or maybe that's not a thing they would think about?
Well, hopefully we'll have an opportunity to confirm if these reports are true.
Yeah.
But there's several reports that one of the points of contention was that Harbaugh wanted to keep Todd Monken.
Ah, got you. Interesting. Okay.
So if that is true, then no, I do not see that being an option.
Okay. That would be sheesh. Okay. Got a question for you. Attitude Pop said, did Carita just say John?
Yes, you heard me correctly. I sure did.
Yeah. Okay. It said Harbaugh to the Browns. Please don't let him go to Washington. I mean, that's not happening.
I don't think that. Yeah, that doesn't feel like the place for him there.
No. It could be like the Giants or something like that, to be honest with y'all. So just for all right. So what would you say, like, how from you've been around there enough, and forget the Lamar element of it, right? Let's not put the Lamar element of it. How big do you think it's hit the team? Most of the team out there, like him being fired. Do you think it's gone left, or do you feel like it's like status quo? Like, what do you feel?
I think that even if the players were ready for a new voice, change is still uncomfortable.
Of course. Yeah.
Right? So there's probably mixed emotions. That would be my guess. Is like Mike Green, for example, posted a story of Harbaugh hugging him. And it said Harbs in your heart. You know what I mean? So for Mike Green, that's his first NFL coach, you know?
Yeah, true.
So I just think it's probably mixed emotions. In all honesty, even if some of those guys were ready to see Harbaugh go, it was probably still hard.
Yeah, especially, I mean, if you look at, like, I think that to your point of him being a leader, if you look at and we'll get to the game and we're going to play your rundown of the game, your recap and rundown of the game. But like, look at how he consoled the kicker, like Tyler Loop in that situation. So, you know, of anything, if you don't like, if you've grown tired of a John Harbaugh, at least you can tell like he's a compassionate individual for his players.
He is. He definitely. I
see that.
I mean, gosh, what game was that?
Even you look at what happened with Mark Andrews, like stuff like that. Like, he's a compassionate person.
I think even the New England game, was that the New England game? Gosh, there's been so much that happened this season. No, it was the Bengals game, the Bengals Thanksgiving game. That was the one where Lamar was at his locker. He was really upset about that game. It was or was it the Steelers? Shoot, I'm sorry. No, it was the Steelers. They got beat by the Bengals. Then they got beat by the Steelers. And so Lamar was like at a loss at that point. And I will say, in my 3 years covering the team, that's the most frustrated I've ever seen him. And so, but I say all that to say, Harbaugh was over at Lamar's locker, and they had like a long conversation. So he cared. He cared about his players, and I don't think that can be understated. Like, I feel as though even if the players were ready to move on, I think there's still love there.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I feel like there's still love there. He's talking about Todd Monken. To Washington. I mean, I don't think that's a bad one for Jaden. That's not a bad one. Look what he did with Lamar. Lamar got better to me as a passer with Todd Monken. But that's a whole different. That's a whole different conversation.
Martin.
That's a good question. You know better than me. I don't like that. You know better than me. I just look at all I look at is I look at offensive coordinator. That's what. But you there, so you know better than me.
Steve Martin's work.
Okay, that's even better. All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
So would he be? So I got a question. I got secondary questions then. So if Monken is out, right? Because you're saying that was the fight that he wanted to keep Todd Monken. Could T. Martin be elevated to OC? You know what I mean? Because it seems like, how I look at it, or this is my thought process. Lamar is your franchise quarterback, so for whatever, and just like in most of the sports, chances are your player signed off on it. Like, chances are your franchise player, whoever that is, signs off on it. So if that's the case, like you're saying T. Martin is his, like, I'm sure T. Martin's probably his guy, right? Lamar and T. Martin, So I'm pretty like, so with that, if Lamar said, you know what, I want this guy to be my offensive coordinator, do you think he would be in play to be the OC?
Maybe, but I don't know if being a good quarterback coach makes you a good offensive coordinator.
Oh, I agree with that.
So that's hard for me to say. but it also depends. If you bring in a new coach, they're going to want their own person.
That too. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I'm not saying Lamar wouldn't have a say-so in that, but they're going to probably want their own person. But I'm hoping that they keep T. Martin as the quarterback coach at the very least. Because Lamar has done well under T. Martin.
Oh man, I remember T. Martin as a college quarterback, so I know all about Tennessee. So T. Martin, I like T. Martin when he was in college, so I know about T. Martin.
Yeah, I can't credit Monken for that.
Okay, I'll give you look. That's what I'm saying. That's what we look. That's why like I said, I trust you. I trust people in the building. Like I don't come out here and speak when somebody in the building tells me something. I'm like, okay, you got it. Home fight it. Yeah. Carita, Paul, a question from Paul. Carita, do the Ravens want to go back to their true identity, defense first?
I do believe so. I mean, this team for so many years has been known to be a defensive team. And I do think that they want that back. But I also feel like they want to maximize Lamar Jackson. So maybe but I do think that part of this process will be getting back to that championship defense because they struggled.
They struggled,
exactly. They struggled, and nobody was looking at them like that, like the Ravens
of the
organization that was known for their defense.
Yeah, that's why we're about to go into the actual Steelers game too, because I think we've kind of talked about this a lot. But that's why I'm kind of curious. That's why I think that whoever they bring in, my personal opinion, they're going to bring in a defensive-minded coach, I think, because of that. I think Lamar's at a point now, to your point, that he's reached the level where they can bring in an offensive coordinator and he's going to make it work. I kind of am at that point.
I do want to say this, and maybe this is just my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they need an OC that has a bit more creativity.
Okay.
I like Todd Monken as the offensive coordinator, but I don't feel like I personally feel as though he struggled a little bit to use all of his personnel or effectively use the personnel. And I know they got a lot of people and a lot of weapons, but I mean, going games where, and some of this is probably Lamar too, because he's the quarterback, but going games where you barely use Rashad Bateman, having games where like even D-Hop signed to the team, but he had some games, but he was not as much of a factor as you think he should have been as a third option. Yeah, I just don't, I don't know.
Not getting the ball to Derrick Henry.
Yes, that's
I got you. I got you.
Yeah. Like just even the use of Derrick Henry.
This is
like true. You have the best running back in the league. You know how many teams would want Derrick Henry? Right. And but some of it with Derrick Henry was the offensive line this year. They were not the best.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think he's saying, Attitude Pop agrees. He says like, yeah, they spend money on defense through the whole Lamar era. They need to invest on both sides. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally agree.
It needs to be probably because you do have Lamar, so I think it could be level.
Yeah,
a level but your defense needs to be better.
Definitely. But I agree with everything you said about being smart enough. You need an OC that's creative and smart enough to take advantage of all those weapons and not go dead when it comes to feeding Derrick Henry. Talking game one says lack of use of Henry. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, people can blame. We talked about that, Paul. I'm not a fan. We didn't talk about Cliff. We talked about something.
No, I didn't. We talked about Yeah.
And people forget about Cliff Kingsbury's head coaching stint in Arizona.
I don't think it's a good look. I don't think it's a good match. I know everyone thinks
he was under 500 as a coach for his 4-year tenure.
Yeah.
And granted, I know people can be different in different situations.
Yeah, of
But
course. And Lamar's Lamar. And
as
Lamar
an
is
OC,
Lamar.
the Commanders just let him go.
Yeah, we don't need him though. Yeah, we don't need him.
But all I'm saying is no. It's a no for me.
No, I don't think it's a good fit, to be honest with you. I think Lamar. They need somebody who's ready to lead a squad. I don't think Cliff is too much of an unknown. To be honest with you, I know he's young, but he's too much of an unknown. To be real with you. All right, well, it's time to get into the game that just went by. Like we got to dive into this game. It sucks, but we still got to talk about it. So before we get into this, like, oh my God, this heart-wrenching game. Carita had her rundown when she was up there in Pittsburgh after the game. So let's play that. Let's play that first.
The only way to describe the Ravens locker room after a 26-24 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers is stunned. A win tonight would have sent them to the playoffs, and they would have also secured their third division championship. But Tyler Loop was unable to make the game-winning field goal, missing it wide right, and that ended the Ravens season. Here's what Loop had to say after the game.
I caught a little bit. Operation was great. It was a great situation, exactly what we wanted. And unfortunately, I just mishit the ball. Hit it. We call it hitting it thin. It spins fast and goes off to the right. And yeah, that was it.
In an act of support, Loop's kicking team of Nick Moore and Jordan Stout stood on both sides of him while he spoke to the media. I asked Jordan how he thinks Loop will grow and develop from this teaching moment.
No one should have to start out their rookie year like this, especially at the end of the year. Like, he doesn't get another chance to show people what he's capable of. But yeah, 10 years down the line, when he's the best in the league, I think he'll look back on it as the moment that made him.
This was a game where the Ravens offense had their good moments and the defense had their good moments. But when it really mattered, Lamar Jackson rallied this team back into the game and set up that game-winning field goal. Prior to that, the defense wasn't able to get a stop to keep the Steelers from scoring. And Alohi Gilman, he spoke a little bit more about the defensive performance as well.
Didn't get a stop when we needed to. That's disappointing. Little things we could have done. Also, football, stuff happens.
As the Ravens try to put this loss behind them, there are questions this offseason as this team did not perform up to the standard and they missed the playoffs after going to the AFC Championship just 2 years ago. John Harbaugh's job is going to be in question. Whether or not the Ravens make a move, that's going to be up to Steve Biscotti. However, Derrick Henry said that he wants to see Harbaugh here, but it's not his decision.
I love Coach Harbaugh, love his team, love the organization. As far as those decisions, that's all about pretty great. I don't make those decisions, but I love everybody in this organization and try their best this year. Just didn't do enough.
This is Carita Parks. That has been your final Ravens rundown of the regular season. It has been a pleasure. Be sure to follow Bowie TV Sports throughout the off season, and tomorrow is locker room clean out. So stay with us at Bowie TV Sports, and you can also catch us on Comcast in Prince George's County.
Look at you kind of already seeing what was going to happen.
You know, right, but I know the off season was going.
Look at you! You already knew it was going down. Oh, we got a couple questions real quick. We have one question. He says, "What are some head coaching options Ravens can pick from?" Oh, we talked about it. I mentioned Brian Flores, and there are going to be a couple coaches I think that could get fired. The Packers coach can possibly get fired if he doesn't do what they hope he does. Buffalo, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if their coach gets fired if they lose early. So those are kind of some candidates, and then you got some young guys, but I don't feel like
all right. I mean, I I don't know. Maybe I'm a pessimist, but Matt LaFleur, I'm like, he couldn't make it shake in Green Bay. So why?
Yeah. But everybody likes it. They like retreads in the world. Everybody likes retreads. That's the problem.
Everybody likes what?
Retreads. Did
yeah,
you hear
I
that
know.
Jason Garrett is getting an interview in Tennessee?
I saw that.
And what has he done? Seriously. You know what I mean? That's why I get mad. When you talk about Brian Flores, that's why I personally get mad when he can't get a job, because you got retreads who done a worse job than in certain jobs, and all he did was win with less in Miami at the time. So, but yeah, that's the issue. But yeah, everybody likes to, and you know what? Don't get me. I'm not gonna get started because there's a whole different.
And then if the Bills coach gets fired, it's the same situation. He's taking the playoffs and can't get over the hump.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is the issue that I have right now, guys. Is I'm just struggling with what candidates are available or will be available that would actually be a good fit, because this organization really can't afford to miss right now.
Yeah. Definitely. What else?
Yeah,
I mean, I do. Matt LaFleur is good with quarterbacks, but he's very good with quarterbacks.
Maybe as an OC,
he has one. Yeah,
he can be an OC. How about that?
He could be OC. I like that.
How about that?
Why the fire Harbaugh buzz because of Loop? Yeah, because I guess he's saying, did he get fired because of Loop? Is that the?
No, I think it was a combination. It was the entire season. I think it was the entire season, but I also think it was the Ravens going to the play, being in these big games and basically collapsing. Yeah. So I think it was I think things just mounted is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so I got you. Said why they fired? I got you because of Loop. Yeah, it wasn't that, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he'll land on his feet. What am I worried about? John Harbaugh will be fine. He'll have a job. If he wants to take a break from coaching, he'll have a job the following year. He's one of those dudes. So he doesn't have to really wait that long. He can chill. But all right, so you talked about missing that kick. First off, I remember talking to you during the pregame. And the day was hectic. But did you get an opportunity, or maybe you caught wind of it? What the folks talk about how Luke was kicking in like pregame or anything like that? Because sometimes reporters have those kind of talks.
I didn't see his pregame kick. Yeah, right. It was hectic, but I did hear he was hit or miss.
Oh, okay.
So I heard that his pregame warm-ups were basically up and down.
Okay. So I do want to ask this too, because all right, that last drive, that situation when Lamar made that great pass to Likely, and then they just decided, and they had a timeout left, they decided to kneel. I was kind of thinking they could have still tried to run the football. I want to know your thought process on that thing. Did you, at the time, were you feeling like that was a good move, or were you thinking you could still run the football and call a timeout, or to get closer?
I think that because, I don't believe that they felt like they needed to get closer, because I saw a stat. I didn't know the stat before today, but I saw a stat today that he has been 28 out of 28 on kicks under 50 yards.
Gotcha.
So his miss
that's rare.
A bit of an anomaly.
Yeah.
When it comes to what he had done all season. I feel like they felt, because he's a rookie, that it was more important to center the ball than to get him closer.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, you always want to be centered. Was it windy? Was it windy, or did that thing just spin?
I mean, I was like, maybe it was windy on the
Look, I'm asking.
Windy. It wasn't windy because I walked from my car to the stadium, and it was not close. It was not a short walk. Not windy. Now, it was definitely cold, but it wasn't windy on my walk. But like I said, maybe the stadium conditions were different than I was walking, outside, not the stadiums around me. Because I will say sometimes, when I go down to the Ravens stadium, it's it is windier, and I'm like, it wasn't this windy earlier or whatever. So sometimes the conditions on the ground are different. But even when I went outside, even when I went outside for the post game is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I got you.
It wasn't windy.
Okay, I'm trying to give him. I'm trying very
He
hard.
said he said he hit the ball. Like he didn't
Yeah,
blame
I heard
it on
that.
the
Yeah.
wind. Yeah, he didn't blame it on the wind. He said that it was the way he kicked the ball.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because it was a center kick, and I was like, it's right in the middle, and I was
It could have
like,
been. I feel like that could have been a career-defining moment for him, but
yes,
unfortunately, it went a completely different way. And I honestly felt like he was going to make that kick.
I mean, everybody did. Everybody did. I mean, once Lamar made that play, I think people figured game over. Like once Lamar made that big pass to Likely, game was over. I felt like game was over. I know back in my mind, I was like, could you get a little closer? Just because I just felt like, for me, I was like, rookies, it's really a rookie it's a rookie. At the end of the day, like this is probably the biggest kick of his football life at this point. The biggest kick of his football life. Yeah. So, but I get it though. Again, like you said, Carita,
but I also want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand the thought process of getting him closer, right?
Yeah.
But you just got to think about how the season went. Like Derrick Henry has fumbled.
True. Good points.
Like
They're all good points.
Lamar Jackson had a tipped. It wasn't his fault, but the ball got tipped and it was an interception.
Mm-hmm.
I just really think they didn't want to make any mistakes or risk turnovers. So they just trusted the kicker to make a kick that he has made all season.
Mm. So we got a question for you from FF4F Inc. Incorporated. It says, Carita, what's your grade for the defensive coordinator? I think that we're saying coordinator.
The grade.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give him, people might not agree with me, but I'll give him a C because I feel like he had good games. They shut out the Bengals. I mean, that was the first shutout in I can't remember, but it was
he had a stretch of good games. He had
some good games, but then he had some questionable games.
Yeah.
So I give it a C. I feel like it was mid,
That's fair. That's very fair. I think that's about right. The first half of the season was bad. The second half of the season was, you could make an argument the second half of the season you could give him a B. So it kind of evens out to like a C, to be honest with you. So like, do you think it's fair to put, like, everybody's putting blame on Tyler Luke. Do you think it's fair do you think he deserves most of the blame for this game?
No, I think that here's what I think happened.
Uh-huh.
I believe because Lamar was able to rally him back. And let's just say Lamar, besides that one, like I said,
interception
that really wasn't his fault.
Mm-hmm.
He played a good game. Like those two dimes to Zay, that was like vintage Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say that.
Even Likely, the pass to Likely too. The pass to Likely too.
The pass to Likely. I mean, you got to give Likely credit. He went up and got that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I do feel like in the first half, and I said this at halftime, the Ravens, they had a beautiful opening drive, but they could not score or even get in field goal range for pretty much the remainder of the first half. Well, they had, I think, one field goal. But the Ravens had other opportunities. And I said at the end of halftime that I'm uncomfortable that they weren't able to put more points on the board.
Yeah.
Because they essentially allowed the Steelers to stay in it.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't blame it on Tyler Luke because I think that there were other opportunities to score and they just weren't able to do it.
Yeah, that's my thing. I feel like you're 10-0. Sorry, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because they weren't able to, like, they went 3 and out a couple times. The Steelers' time of possession in the first half was dominant. Like, it felt like we barely saw the Ravens offense anymore. And then even the second half, when the Steelers came out, they didn't score. I think they ended up getting a field goal, but their time of possession in the opening drive in the second half was a lot. So compared to the Ravens, like the Ravens did not have the ball a lot, in my opinion, at a certain point, because they couldn't do anything. So yeah, it came down to a kick because when Lamar got them back in the game, but there were other opportunities, and they should have scored more in the first half when they had the ball, in my opinion.
I feel like when you're, to your point, when you're on the road and you're up 10-0, you gotta find a way to kind of put more points out there to kind of, you want to put yourself in that situation, right? For them to come back. That's what I would say. But I'm not putting it, there's no blame on Lamar, because to what he did in those, when they needed him to make a play, he made plays. That's all you ask for from your superstar player, is to come out and make plays.
To say that though, I only brought him up because in these big games, I feel like there's always questions about, can Lamar do this? Can Lamar do that? And especially with him coming back from injury. Because even I wasn't sure how he would be coming back from injury, because prior to his injury, he was very hesitant, but he didn't play hesitant at all. So I just brought him up because I think it needed to be said that he had a good game, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I thought he had a real good game. I was watching that game. I was like, oh, Lamar did it again. Like, I was getting hyped because I thought we were going to have we're going to continue this thing going. I was like, yeah, we're going to have some pre-games, some recaps. I was like, we good. We in the playoffs. We're going to get some pre-game recaps.
I mean, I thought he was going to make that kick. I definitely thought we was going to be talking playoffs for sure.
Oh, man.
I can't imagine how they felt, because I was disappointed.
I can't imagine it, but you saw it in you got an opportunity to see, the players right after the game. Like, so what was, obviously I don't want to be act like I'm stupid or whatever, but obviously the mood was low, but what was it like though? Like, was it like you can drop a pin?
Quiet.
I thought so. Yeah.
It was quiet. Now, only was it quiet because one thing I will say is, after a win or a loss, it really don't matter. Like, those players, they get up out that locker room so fast. Like, they're not a team that sticks around much in either case. But what I found interesting is so many of them were still just sitting around.
Of course. Yeah.
Like, I think they were processing.
It's like grief.
Processing what happened.
Yeah. It's like grief.
Quiet. And then Tyler Loop, he was facing his locker. He had his back turned. He was facing his locker. The punter, Jordan Stout, was sitting there talking to him, though. And I know I said it in my video, but I want to say it again. The support that his kicking team gave him, the long snapper, Nick Moore, and Jordan Stout, commendable. I think that they know he's a rookie. They know he's young, and they just made sure he was good. And that stood there the entire time he did his press conference, like, very commendable. But I lost my track of thought. Oh,
no, so you got it. No, you good. You got it.
Yeah, he had his back turned, and he was talking to the punter. He was also reading his Bible. So, and I will say, I think it should be said that, that was a rough situation for Tyler Loop, but he faced the media after that.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do. It's definitely hard to do as a rookie. Last year, Mark Andrews had that drop 2-point conversion. He did not talk. So for him to face the media, he deserves credit for that, because it's a hard thing to do, especially in that situation. But yeah, so it was a quiet locker room. It was still a stunned locker room. People were processing. I think it was a lot. Like, Marlon Humphrey kept it real, He was like, there's going to probably be a lot of changes. And he was like, I don't know if I'm a part of the plan. I got to wait and see. So I think all of those things were probably hitting everybody at once. The loss.
Yeah, of course.
What it could mean for the future. Just everything. But everyone that I talked to, they were professional. You know what I mean? Like they were just processing everything. So
yeah, the whole weekend in the NFL was insane. That was intense. It was
but I
very
think the
intense.
Ravens game. Now let me say this. The Ravens game and the Steelers game gave the people what they wanted, though.
No, it gave them all the smoke. It did. Like I know it gave all the excitement. I want like watching the game. It was like the ebbs and flow, man. Like
I couldn't
that's
take it. It got to a point where I was like,
I couldn't take it. I can't.
I was like, why is this game coming down to like the last 11 seconds? Like,
Yeah. What was on the touchdown, the touchdown pass to was it Austin for the Steelers? What was the corner doing on that play? Like, did they talk about that in the presser?
He slipped.
He did slip. That's what it
That
was.
was Cheeto, right?
Cheeto. Yeah.
Yeah, because I even saw that in the press box. He looked like he slipped.
Okay.
And later you heard Coach Harbaugh in the post game say he slipped.
He slipped. That's what it was. Okay. All right. So what was so with the you did a locker room clean out. So what was like and anybody who wants to check out some of the videos on, just go to Bowie TV's YouTube channel. Carita has a bunch of awesome video clips of like the players during locker room clean out. But what was like, were they a little bit better in locker room clean out, or was it still more of that surreal moment with them?
They were better. Okay. But Charlie Kohler probably said it best, right? He was like, they thought they won the game, and he's like, and now it's like 12 hours later and we're cleaning out our lockers.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I don't think it was 12 hours. It was like a couple of hours later.
Yeah.
It might have been 12 hours later because the game was over probably around 1, and they leave, they pretty much leave not long after it's over. So it was probably 12 hours for them. It wasn't 12 hours for me. But but all in all, that's hilarious. Go ahead.
That is wild, man. Yeah, I felt for him, man. So was Loop out there at that time? Was he around? Did anybody see a Loop?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
No, Ravens locker room clean out is. I guess everybody's locker room clean out is probably different, but you don't see like everyone. Okay. Like for the Commanders, for example. Yeah. I saw some of Candy's video. Yeah. And it looked like majority of the team.
It did. Exactly. Yeah.
But with the Ravens, majority of the team is not in there. It's just you only end up seeing. We're in there for about an hour, and you only see a select few people.
All right. No, I'm saying that because I would hope that he wasn't there. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the reason why I'm saying that. Because to your point about even Mark Andrews, for him being a rookie, I'm kind of like, I mean, stand up, but that's a stand up thing to do, to talk to media. But I would totally understand if he didn't. Like, because there's nothing you can really say.
They probably would have been okay with that.
Okay.
But I think.
It's classy. It's classy.
Yeah, I think he's professional, and he probably just wanted to get it over with, truth be told. Like, he probably didn't want that lingering, because that lingers the whole off season. And the missed kick is going to linger the whole off season. So he probably just wanted to get it over with.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, I just felt for him. If it was me, I ain't gonna lie, I would like walk out. Y'all ain't talking to me. I'm like, I'm out. Like, y'all saw what happened. I don't got to explain what happened.
There's a couple guys that just be out. So
I get it. Like, look, man, you see what happened. There's no need for me to explain that. I missed it. Like, you can put two and two
there's
together.
Times Zay has left. He might talk to us the next day.
Yeah.
But there's times where like things have happened and he ain't trying to talk about it that night.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, I'm with it, man. I think some things are quite obvious. So I'm like, when Mark Andrews dropped, like, it's quite obvious. Like, I dropped it. What else I'm gonna tell you?
Yeah.
Oh man, but Carita, man, I appreciate you as always, man. Look, but we can still do one with them hiring a coach. So there's still
I mean, I'm
News
sure
out
there'll be a lot going on. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things to talk about.
Sure, facts.
Because,
Hey,
coordinators are still up in the air. I mean, that was like step one. I don't know what's happening after this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought the thing would be It's crazy that you say that. Like, I thought it'd be coordinators first, and maybe they get the head coach.
You know what I thought? I thought that they would give Harbaugh another chance.
Yeah,
because they just signed him to a 3-year extension.
Yeah,
so I thought that they would give him another chance, but with new coordinators and like maybe new staff members. But I think that is what the intention was. Like, hey, I think they wanted him to make changes, and I don't think he felt he needed to make changes.
Got you. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Then that does make sense. All right, well, Carita, before we go, I'm always grateful for you to do the pod. It's been dope. The season's been dope. But how can folks catch you on social media, and also check your content for Bowie TV, and also check out your content for Double Take Sports?
You can follow me on all social media platforms at Carita Parks. My Ravens content can be found on Bowie TV Sports. That's at Bowie TV Sports. And I am also the owner and founder of Double Take Sports. That is my own media company, but we have different varieties of sports on that platform, from WNBA to NBA to college basketball. So follow us at DBL Take Sports.
This is for you from Paul. Oh, this is from you from Paul.
Is this Paul who's supposed to buy a? No, this is not the same.
It's Paul. It's Paul. Oh,
Paul, where's your shirt? Where is your shirt?
It's Paul.
Where is your shirt, Paul?
Oh, I owe you one too. Don't get twisted. I ain't forget. I got you. Don't get twisted. I owe you. Look. I got you. I owe you one. I ain't gonna hold you. You got FF for F Inc. says a great job all season covering the Ravens. So it's up to you, great job, man.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your support as always.
When you put Paul on blast.
You said that last time. So I'm gonna see you next season. You still gonna be telling me you getting it tomorrow.
Hey man. Hey. Hey Paul, you better get it, bro. She putting you on clock.
He gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna get it next week.
Paul, you on clock, man. You on clock. Thank goodness for sports and beautiful reporters. Oh, look at folks, look at you.
Oh, thank you so much. Very much appreciated.
Who needs Oh man, Paul said I will. Look at it. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. You guys are the true MVP. Appreciate Carita as always. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. A year dig deuces. We are out. Peace.